What up, y'all? How you doing? It's your boy Youre. It is the 1st of September, 2015. How is everybody doing? How was your weekend? Hopefully it was positive. You were able to sidestep the negative and take one more step closer to you. Because see, you're worth it, y'all. I've been echoing that. I've been more or less your cheerleader through it all, because I don't know if you guys see it. Some of you do, some of you don't. But the way that we as a society is headed, you're going to be forced to make a choice. That's right. You're going to be forced to make a choice. Now, I think I got your attention now. And I know you've probably seen examples, even examples that you didn't want to, but it was forced for you to take note. And you couldn't turn a blind eye to it. So you was forced to deal with it. And, you know, I keep conveying, I'm not trying to make light of it, but you do understand that society, that archetype that we know, is our reality. Its whole focus is what? To make money, right? But they also know that I can't make money off you if you have a sound mind. You must be a place of influx and impulse, because the more unbalanced that you are, the more money you're going to spend. So I got to get you to throw that moral compass out the window. I got to get you to throw it out the window, y'all. I got to. God forbid that you have a conscience. No, I can't afford that. I can't afford that. See, that's what society wants. My queens, come on now. You thought I was being... You see it now? Do you see the relevance now? What's going on? Society wants you to play the prostitute. Society wants you to not see your value and worth. Society wants you to lose your everlasting mind and sleep with as many people as you can without any recourse. See, society needs you to be unbalanced. It needs you to be as unstable as you possibly can, because see, then you won't be a threat. God forbid, we don't need you out here saying, hey, take heed, stop, this is not what you need. Love yourself, respect yourself, see your worth. No, we can't afford that, because see, you guys already know, in the intended time and moment, devil's gonna walk this earth. He's got people already in place. Already. Why does it seem every year the level of disrespect on mankind gets worse? Why? Because he got to make sure his slaves and minions are doing their part. So you can't be nowhere near God's grace. Oh no. God forbid that you respect yourself. God forbid that you be still. Some of y'all walking around with mental health issues, and you're turning around and knocking back bottles as your sedative to go to sleep, but yet you're turning around and using another human being to knock them back because you're addicted. Some of y'all you won't even admit it to yourself. You got a sex addiction. You think it's called sowing your oats. Nah. Let me tell you, there's a difference with intimacy and understanding your sexuality. There's a difference. The investment is you. Some of y'all caught that, some of you didn't. See, my kings and queens, let me explain something to you. If you're under the age of 35 years old, you don't know who you are. Let me make that clear. If you're under the age of 35 years old, you do not know who you are. You think you know who you are. You don't have a clue. Because if you knew who you are, you wouldn't make some of the choices. You wouldn't have some of the alignments that you have. Because you would see and understand what's at stake. Let me explain something to you. Do you realize in the next 20 years, let's fast forward 20 years from now, do you realize how many damaged kings? Check this. You realize in 20 years you're going to walk around, you're going to see a whole lot of damaged women. They're going to be suffering from dementia, Alzheimer's. See, a lot of people got it twisted. They think you can suffer from dementia because of old age. No. You can suffer from dementia, and I believe Alzheimer's is also connected when your nervous system starts to fail. So guess what? If you're not taking care of your body, if you're constantly wearing yourself thin, if you're constantly consuming things that you shouldn't, guess what? You're wearing down that that hardwire called your nervous system. And what's connected to your nervous system? Your brain. So if your brain is not healthy, you're not going to make healthy decisions. Come on now. Think about it. Take a step back. Do you think it's coincidental that you're going through insomnia bouts? You're having a hard time going to sleep? You eat, on the go all the time? You don't make time for the things you need, but you always make time for the things you want? Come on. It's to set you up to fail. Why? Because the devil cannot afford for the person that you're destined to be. So guess what? Every inhibition, every desire that you could fathom in that beautiful mind, he opens the floodgates. I'll explain it. Queens, you are quick to call a woman out of her name because of her behavior. But if you look yourself in the mirror, you'll come to see you're doing the same thing. You're doing the same thing. What's different? Nothing. You're not respecting your body. You're sleeping around. What's the difference between what your behaviors is and the woman that's on the street? Because it's in a clean and safe environment. It's not safe. That's a false illusion. Because the moment that you decide not to do what you were brought to do, guess what? Somebody's going to hurt you. If they don't attack your heart, they attack your body. Yes, I know I'm talking to somebody because somebody's dealing with getting their butt whooped. Somebody's dealing with a domestic situation. And I said that in the last video. Only reason why it exists is because you won't leave. Only reason why it truly goes on, because there's a pattern in that, is because they know you have no support system. Your own family don't even stand behind you. And how can they? They don't even know who they are. So the apple don't fall far from the tree. You got to own it. You got to own it. That's why you see this sometimes. You see a family that's dysfunctional, and all of a sudden, as soon as somebody turn 18, they gone. Ain't looking back. Isn't that kind of ironic to you? Like, wow. It's because they still see their worth. Remember, nobody goes down with a sinking ship but fools. Mm-mm. So now, you've seen a lot of chit chatter going on talking about the VMAs. You know, let me throw that the explicit content disclaimer out there now, because I'm gonna say some things, and I just gotta keep it 100. This is my opinion, and it doesn't reflect anyone else, but this is my opinion. Now, you're gonna constantly hear about this award show for a minute, but ask yourself this: what is the whole purpose of that? The whole purpose is to attract new consumers, to attract the impressionable. Because trust and believe, there was a little boy and a little girl that should not have been watching that show, and they were in awe what they saw. There was a little boy and a little girl saying, you know what, I can relate to your bad behavior. And they're going to emulate what they see. That's why you got 1,001 Beyonce's and 1,001 Rihanna's and whoever the puppet of choice is. And you notice they only are going to be there. They didn't start off like that. But isn't it kind of ironic? The track that they started off with, it's like death ran over when it's all said and done. Like, damn, what happened to them? Because number one, they realized they couldn't put a brand in front of them. That's why they're there. That's why they're stars. What are stars? They're in the sky, and what do? We stare at them. Why? Why do we do it? Because we're in awe. These people that are known as celebrities are some of the most broken people you'll ever see. And the ironic part is, unless you have a direct connection with them, what you're seeing is a projection that is perpetrated for the masses. So guess what? They see us as sheep. So guess what? Now they've said, hey, even bad behavior gets attention. Bad news is still news. It still keeps them talking about it. But what they don't do is take accountability for their choices, the impacts that they make. Oh, trust and believe. Did you see all the ads that were running? Hmm? Do you think they just put that up there just to say, hey, we down? Come on. They're looking for those that are impressionable. That's why if you've got kids, it's very important that you be a parent. Stop being a friend. Stop being your kid's friend. Be the parent first. If anything, think about all the mistakes you made and protect your children from it. Because everything that you decide not to do, they're going to go through it 5 times more. And it ain't nothing worse for a parent to see their child suffering emotionally and they can't do nothing about it. But you can put preventive measures in place. That's why communication is very important. Talk about the things that are hard to talk about. Your children are your greatest investment next to you. So if you don't have yourself right, your environment's not going to be right because it's all about the extensions. Your kids are you. They come from your loins. They're you. So why not lead by example? I saw this story early in the week where this was this girl. She was locked up. She was young, and they asked her, you know, how did she get into this way of living. And she said, well, I learned everything from my mom, and all the other things I didn't do, all the other things I did not learn, I learned from the people I was with. So basically, the guys she was sleeping with, their bad habits became her behaviors. I know I'm talking to somebody. You know what I'm talking about. You spend enough time around somebody, their traits are going to rub off on you. But really, if you peel that onion back, their spirit will overtake yours. The stronger of the two spirits. That's why when you see somebody that together, whoever has the stronger of the two spirits, the other person will emulate, will walk like, talk like, act like. It's like the two flesh become one. So if it's not grounded, you're looking at someone dying slow. It happens. But even in that case, you're supposed to pray for them. So, how many signs do you need? How many signs does it take for you to realize the devil's real? Just look at your life. Look at all the hardships you've gone through. And look at all the things that could have been avoided, but because of your pride and ego, nobody can talk to you. I know I'm talking to somebody. You hearing me right now? You're going through some BS right now, and you don't understand how you got there, but you do. You do understand how. Because when you turn around and go through one spiritual door, it opens another one, and another one, and so on, and so on, and so on. And that is supposed to be your wisdom. But if you're not investing in yourself, you're going through life like it's an amusement park. Guess what? Sooner or later, you got to pay the fare. Sooner or later, you got to pay that bill or incur more debt. And there we go again. That's what society wants. They want you to be the new slave. So they ain't gotta use scare tactics anymore because they know the average person doesn't use their brain. Why do you think everything is so user friendly? Because they don't want you to cognitively use your brain. And what do? They make things alluring to the eye. That's why they produce them. They produce it because they know they can make money off of it. And they know that there's someone's going to always buy. Same practice as you do with a child, with a baby. Baby starts crying and start acting up, you go give them something shiny, and they're entrenched in that. Like, what is it? There are a lot of people still doing the same thing. You gotta break the cycle, y'all. You got to. But what I'm trying to convey is this. You do realize the media is doing everything it can to separate you from your spirituality. Please believe that. It is covertly attacking the way you think and force feeding you an ideology so that you can embrace it or condone what goes on. If you don't like what's going on TV right now, imagine what TV is going to look like 5 years from now. How about that? You ever thought about that? Because that's where we had it. That's where we had it, y'all. And for those that know the name Jesus Christ, be prepared because you're going to be the one that they're going to try to ostracize. They're going to try to make you look like the villain. That was a lie. I keep trying to tell you that. So what's going to happen? You're going to have to reinvest in yourself. You're going to have to look a little deeper in your associations, and you're going to have to let some people go so they can grow. Some of you may be stuck right now, and you're like, I don't know when am I going to get my breakthrough. You'll get your breakthrough the moment you decide to you start to be honest with yourself. Stop listening to that lie that you've convinced yourself over the years. It's no secret your reality is the way it is. I know some of you women are like, Gerald, I have a good heart. I have a whole lot of love to give someone, but I keep attracting Mr. Wrong. You keep attracting Mr. Wrong because cognitively in the back of your mind, that's what you wanted. That's what you wanted. You wanted that thug. You wanted you wanted that sense of, because you thought that that was going to give you a sense of validation of being secure. But guess what? The price, you didn't see the fine print when he was being deceitful, when he was putting his hands on you, when he was disrespecting you, when he was just using you for a place of release. And it's got your heart hurting now. It's going to continue to hurt until you decide to see your value and see your worth. Just look back. Just look back where you've been. Look at all the people that you connected to, and you'll see a common theme. All of them did what they wanted to do until you woke up, and they left. Some even didn't even care. They're like, all right, peace. Jigs up. I keep telling you, that was a lie. But y'all don't want to believe me. But I'm going to tell you this, though. Until you keep playing with your life, you're not guaranteed to see tomorrow. Or worse, the next person to come in your life might be the one that might take your life or damage it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. That's why I kept saying from the giddy up, Queen, stop looking for your man. Then you turn around and have the audacity to try to build one. Try to build the perfect dude. You got your starting five. All of them got a certain theme. They all look similar. They all have individual aspects of themselves. And the common theme is you have their attention. You don't have their attention. They just want to screw you. They want to exploit you. And they want to do everything they can, physically they can, until you tap out. Some of y'all know that. Some of y'all have actually convinced yourself for a second, well, maybe I just should settle. Maybe it is me. No, that's Stockholm Syndrome. That's when you decide, that's when the abused has admiration for the abuser. That's not healthy, because you know what happens? It's reciprocal. Those who have been abused will eventually become the abuser unless you decide to get help, to get therapy. And that's the crazy part. Why won't you invest in yourself? You realize how many people look like they got it together, walking around you, and they're just they're just one disappointment from snapping. Y'all hear about that story about the man that used the current iron on his wife because she cheated on him 50 years before? Now his his life is ruined because of a choice he made. But the question I gotta ask is, because they asked if there was always abuse there, why'd you stay? Why'd you stay? Because love don't hurt. Keep telling y'all that. And the choice to walk around numb, that's a choice. And it is not, you will never find the perfect drug, the perfect alcohol, the perfect lover to heal that heart. You won't. You'll go through a lot. And that's why you got people walking around now, unfortunately, very sad, that will never have the opportunity to have to be parents. They're barren. They're sterile. Does it surprise you? Why you think they got them commercials on the TV talking about you have low ED? Come on, dog. You have that because it's a derivative or a side effect of how you live in your life. Don't sit up here and blame it on the medicine. Blame it on your behavior. If you treat your life like a candle, you're burning it on both ends, well, guess what? Hello? And that brings me back to my point. A lot of cats don't even know, y'all don't even know who y'all are. You walk around imitating what you see, what you hear, what you think you know. At what expense? Your life, your body, your spirit. It's not worth it. If you want that life that you know in your heart of heart, because I'm telling you what, you ain't that tough. You ain't that tough. You ain't that hard. Don't you realize most people that run their mouth about negative stuff are always, they're the ones that are in torment and they like an audience. Because if they love themselves, why wouldn't they take the steps to heal? Maybe this is the time you're supposed to sit your butt down and reflect on where you've been. Maybe this is the time that you'll finally have the courage to be honest with yourself and allow yourself to forgive. Seek forgiveness. That's when you start living your life. When you start to identify with those emotions you got. There's more. You have more emotions than love, what you think is love, and hate. There's more of a dynamic to yourself. You lowball yourself every time you choose not to be honest with yourself. For what? So you're gonna end up with the same fate as that grown ass woman that don't have that wanted love all her life, but she chased around a bunch of men only to use her up, to end up mind gone like that guy sitting on that park bench. Listen, let me tell you something. God wrote your story. You gotta live it. But you can't live it until you decide to be able to look inside you. I know that needed to go out to someone. You got this girl over here. You talking to this girl on the phone. You messing with that girl from your past, and your eyes out the window, and you wondering why you distracted. Maybe that environment is what's setting you back all along because you won't look inside yourself, and you mad because you broke. We attract what we are. Don't get it twisted. But the question is, who are you? Who are you? Can you answer that? Or better yet, if you died today, how would you be remembered? Oh, they were good people. They were compassionate. They respect themselves. Or, oh man, all I did was she slept with everybody. Oh, he was crazy. Yeah, he was so crazy. Didn't even know him. Didn't deserve to hear you breathe. But the commonality they have is they all been with you. You ain't even got a ring. Why? Because you ain't ready for it. You ain't ready for it. People, I'm not trying to rant. I'm just trying to get you to understand because I know somebody right now, you think you're slick. You think people don't know. You think people can't see. Let me tell you something. Ain't nobody got time to worry about what you doing if you won't worry about yourself first. I know that needs to go out to somebody. You weren't brought on this planet just to die. We all have a purpose, y'all. We all have a purpose. If the person that wake up in the morning to go and brush those pearly whites is not the same person that the world see, what's wrong with that? You're not comfortable in your own skin, but you'll let that stranger have it. What kind of crap is that? Some of y'all walking around in your 50s, still suffering from the traumas of what your parents did to you, still dealing with the burden and the shame of not feeling loved and appreciated. And that has left a imprint in your brain on how you carry yourself. This goes to you, kings. Stop saying that you want someone to be devoted and faithful to you when you ain't faithful to you. Stop lying to yourself. Stop listening to that BS about, oh, well, you know what, to get under someone, to get over someone. Stop cheating yourself. That's why there's a thin line between the haves and have-nots. See, the haves see their worth. The haves are not going to allow something or someone to compromise who they are, their ethics, their integrity, their morals, and their direction. See, the people that are going to be in your life are going to parallel what you're doing. Know that. But what they're not going to do is they're going to watch someone die slow. I know I got to tell you that. Y'all got family members that just, everybody got that one. Love them to death, but slowly, but surely, they killing themselves because of the behaviors that they choose. Ain't no love in it. It's nothing but death. But you know what? You deserve to have that inner peace. You say you're all hard, you unmoved, you strong, then why won't you bend that knee and have that conversation with God? He's the only one that's going to take that pain out of your heart. He's the only one that's going to give you peace of mind. You're not going to find it by breaking that chick off, excuse my French. You're not going to find that to quench that thirst by that person that you met online. That's a stolen moment, and a stolen moment is nothing but a temporary distraction from where you need to be, not where you want to be. It's a difference, because let me tell you something, y'all. The devil don't care about you. He want to destroy your life. Come on, Queens. Why you think you keep running into the same caliber men and getting the same outcome? Your connection is good as the last drop. And you wondering why he left. He was never supposed to be there. He was blocking you from preparing you for the one. Because see, the one is going to make sure that every desire is made quenched. Because see, that person walks with God. He places God first. If the guy that you with don't have a relationship with God, and you will know that because his actions will speak it, you might as well be sleeping with the enemy. And guess what? He don't respect you either because he don't respect himself. So you keep getting it in. You keep falling, getting on that merry-go-round called pain. All it's going to do is increase. And that's why, unfortunately, some of y'all have given up on love. When you make those conscious decisions to make that choice, to speak that out, you basically say that you don't love yourself. You're doing time in your mind. And that's a travesty, because that means your existence doesn't matter. Why do you think people, you see them today and they're gone tomorrow? Because they don't see their purpose. But then they become someone else's purpose. Sometimes when we have to deal with that, what happens? We come together. We come together for a moment to reflect, to put focus, and we go on about our business. You're not nobody's martyr. You're not nobody's victim. You're not a victim. You're just choosing to not live your life. And it's funny too because there was a statistic that said that the average person under the age of 35 is already, they average sleeping with 15 to 20 people a year until marriage. So imagine if you're not married, life is in there, and you're focused, you're all over the place. You realize how many people that you will give access to your life that should not have never been there, that their spirits are going to be inside you. Why do you think STDs exist? They don't call them sexually transmitted demons for nothing. Oh, you got that infection, but he loved you, right? But he gave it to you. Come on now. Come on, Queens. You laughing now, but you crying later because you know what I'm saying is true. You gotta understand, the Jezebel will never get a ring. She gets death. She lives a life by herself. Why do you think these celebrities are adorned with what they get? Because they pay for it with their soul. They sleep around, have no conscience when it comes to their health. They don't care because they're living for the moment. And that's what the devil wants. He don't want you to ground your feet, because the moment that you decide to ground your feet, that's the moment you decide to go another direction. He can't afford that. Oh, you need that handsome dude. He's got his finances on point. You're all love, and he got you doing something strange for some change. See your worth. See your worth. Think about the generation that is coming behind you. Lead by example. Well, don't worry about that because they're watching everything you do. And if you don't get it together, they're going to be doing exactly what you did. And that's an injustice. Claim your life, y'all. You deserve better. Stop running from it. Embrace who you really are. God is praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. And for that, for that, for that, it helps me discern mine. Y'all think I was playing about this? You know what? But they love you, right? They got you splashed all over the internet. You better see your worth. It's time for you to grow and claim your life back. Peace.